My name is Juan Diaz. I'm part of the Mimic development team for FIU SPring 2019. Product owners for the project are Mark Finlayson, Labiba Jahan, and Victor Yarlot. The mentor of the project is Dr. Masood Sajjadi.
This is a presentation of UserStory64. As a student, the first screen I should see should be the outline of activities I need to complete. This user story is meant for the student. It's needed because the student should be able to know what activities they are being asked to complete. This is a demo of the user story. For this demonstration, user 4 has an account but has not completed any activities. We log in with user 4 and we see the activities, the list that they must complete. As shown, they have completed none. If we click on continue activities, they're taken to the first activity. They submit an activity, and if we click on activities again, we show it as completed. If we log in again, we should be taken to the activities list. And we are, shown that activities 1 through 3 have been completed. My apologies, this is for user 2. User 4 should only have activity 1 completed. So let's check. User 4 has completed activity 1. And this concludes the demo of this user story. These are the diagrams for the user story. User authenticates with the login controller using a username and password. The session controller then creates a token and stores it in the data store, in the SQL database. The token is returned by the session controller to the login controller, and now the user has a valid token with which they can use to do other activities or other actions. Once the user has the token, the logic indicates that a user logged in should be taken to the activity list controller. So we go to the activity list controller, and the activity list controller then calls the activities controller, which is a backend controller, and passes the username for the user logged in. The activity controller then fetches the progress and the activities that the user has completed from the data store or database. The activities are then returned, and the activity list controller returns a list of activities to the student. The activity list controller is in charge of displaying these activities. This is a front-end process. As shown in the demo, the user from there can continue to their activities. The use case is very simple. This actually applies for any user, meaning a student can view activities and an admin can also view activities. The only difference with the admin is that the admin, when they log in, they're not taken to the activities list right off the bat. Instead, when the admin is logged in, the login controller is instructed to take the user to the admin pane, if it's an admin. If not, take the user to an activities list. This is a code review of the user story. To implement the view activities list use case, I created a state called activity list. This was added to the module of the application using the already existing state provider implementation. Also, we make sure we add the activity list as a component, and then we can show you how the activity list component looks. Pretty simple. It's an HTML table using Bootstrap or style. Here's the button that takes the user to the next activity, and basically here's the activity list. This, if the activity is complete, show a checkbox. If it's not complete, just show nothing. Here's the logic of the controller. Essentially, the controller gets activities and then gets the progress of these activities because the data is stored in different tables. So we need to make 2 different calls. This is using existing logic. The get activities logic was implemented for this user store. This is the activity controller. Essentially, this is a model of the SQL table. And simply we can call these methods to get the information from the SQL table directly. Let's take a look at the login component. This component authenticates the user. And if we recall from the diagram before, there's some logic here. If the user is not an admin, they should be taken to the activities list. Let's see where that happens. Here. On initialization, if the user is logged in and is not an admin, go ahead and take them to the activities list. If they're an admin, take them to the admin state, which is the admin dashboard. This is during initialization. If we recall, the activity list component also has a button that says Next Activities. This must take the user to the current activity. So let's look at that here. It's simply a change of state. The activity state will show the user with the current activity, but this was implemented during the last version of the application. This concludes the demo of the code review.
This brings an end to the presentation. Thank you for watching. My name is Juan Diaz, and you may reach me at jds457@fiu.edu. Once again, the mentor for this project was Dr. Masood Sajjadi, and the product owners are Mark Finlayson, Labiba Jahan, and Victor Yarlot. Thank you for watching.